I have too much open. I need to close. Okay, let me see now. Okay, can you see it now?
Yep.
Good. So, what I think it's important for you to understand that all this data is actually doing the transformation of the business model. I'm also talking with my students how they are going to monetize their applications, because I'm teaching the introduction to project management, and one of the part when I want them to understand is how they are going to earn money with the application that they are preparing. And one of the ways where you can make money with your application is to do the data monetization, where you actually sell the data or sell the model that you have trained on this data. And we have seen this recently, that companies are now closing their data, and this data is not free to be used. For instance, Twitter was very open. It's not possible to download Twitter data anymore. Um, and I think that this data business was much more, how to say, liberal, and it's closing with the generative AI, because everybody's, I think, is scared what is going to happen to their business. Okay, I have covered that big data is actually volume, velocity, and variety. It's also how much economic value can we extract from this data. It's not only that we are capturing all the data, but what is important is how much business profit can we make with this data. Otherwise, it's only a cost. So how we are using this data, and how this data is helping us to do better business. Data can be really complex. Uh, and I like this definition from O'Reilly, which is originally O'Reilly is one of the best publishers of the literature in computer science, and they are actually defining big data everything that cannot be processed using the conventional methods. And when we talk about conventional methods, we are talking about relational data and information system processing. I hope that you understand these terms when I say relational database. Anya, others,
Yeah, you know the answer.
okay, it's going to be extremely hard for you. Let
Yeah.
me ask the other. Do you know what relational database is and what is information system? Come on, Anya is ice breaking all the time. Thank you, Anya, for this. I appreciate it. If you talk, you can have a personalized lectures, as you see. So this is the challenge.
Yeah, no problem. I just love talking.
Okay. So no response regarding the relational. When you are not responding, I'm assuming that you know that. Oh, okay, Jakob. Unmute yourself, Jakob.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
It's nice to have a live person behind the camera. Thank you very much.
of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I don't really know the two terms you said. For me, sometimes a bit hard to translate my German knowledge in English and backwards.
Okay, let me see what's the relational Datenbanken.
Okay, yeah, I think know
Okay,
something
yeah,
like
I think in
customer
German,
relationship management, and then
yes,
you
yes,
use it, right?
information
Yeah.
system and so on. Let me just says how is translated to German. Auf Deutsch, Datenbank. And Datenbank management system is database management system.
Yeah, I have an idea what that means.
Okay, okay. Uh, this is actually the basic technology that is worldwide used in business. Business, internal business data, financial data, human resource data, sales, billing data. That's all in the relational data the relational databases. Oh, this is going to be really hard because this is big data decision making and you don't have the ordinary data decision making background. Um, but okay, I can adjust. I would like to let me check information system. You know that Wikipedia is the best encyclopedia of computer science. And you can use for computer science, you can use Wikipedia with no doubt that is okay. So here are two links with the explanation: database and information system. Simon, how are you standing with these terms? You can unmute.
I'm good with relational database. Do you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you
Yes, with
perfectly.
relational database, I think that good because there are many. I was working with SQL and there was some relational database, and in information system, I think it also will be good.
Also, okay. And other stuff, is there many new stuff for you, or you are more or less on the familiar ground?
With which roles I was familiar, and with this open source I was also familiar.
Okay.
Because this is with that open source, the users can add their libraries to softwares. It's like Python or Java,
Yeah.
and then now open is like .NET. But we have accounts from Microsoft from our studies, so we can download the Visual Studio, and we have free
Okay.
C Sharp. Or
Simon, I think that you have much better background
mhm,
in computer science than the rest of the
mhm,
group. So I will need to somehow adjust. I
mhm,
don't know how, but I can adjust only if you are sharing feedback with me. This is
mhm,
the only way.
okay.
Okay. And it's going to be hard when we are online, but okay. And thank you all for sharing. I think it's important. Okay. And now I think that this is the best big data definition. Can you see it? Big data, the full picture 5V model.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So we talk about volume. That is really the data quantity that is huge. We talked about the speed that we can generate, and not only generate but also process new data. This is velocity. We talked about variety of data where we can have different kinds of data, text, images, speech, relational data, and so on. Then value is actually business value, but we can also do some mathematical, statistical correlation analysis and so on. Then we can have variability in data. The data is changing all the time. And veracity, which is actually how this data is truthful, trustworthy. Is it coming from the origin of good reputation, or we are scraping Facebook comments that we all know that are awful, and so on and so forth. So this is somehow the big picture of which aspects of data are really important. Data can be ambiguous, which meaning that sometimes I can show you what is meaning uh, ambiguous data. You are receiving this 42, 3,546, 15,258, and date 12 of January 2024. What does data mean? We don't have a clue. 42 is actually the big answer from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe for you that have read the book. 3,050,546 can be brutto salary of some employees. 15,000 can be inhabitants in some city. And this was the day when I actually started to prepare this course. But if I provide you this data like this without any meaning of this data, without any additional information, this can be extremely ambiguous and we don't understand it. Also, we can have this. We can receive, let's say, we can receive this word, bank. What do you mean that I'm writing about when I say bank? Open up your microphones and respond to me. Do you meaning this is the financial institution?
Well, it can be like bank financial institution, or maybe bank like a collection of data bank.
Data bank, or can be bank of the river,
Yeah.
and that's ambiguous data. It can have different meanings in language, or it can have different interpretation when there is no explanation what this data item is meaning. So this is what we think of ambiguity. Then I think that all of you are familiar with the concept of something going virally, spreading in emails, on medias all the time, and viscosity, how fast is the inflow of data. Oh, okay, this is old, but this one is, I love this one. It's from 2014, I think, but this one is really capturing the point of or wrapping up everything that I have talked about. So this was IBM's report of the data structure, and you should all know that IBM was a primary company that was centered about databases, relational databases, and even older kind of databases, and that was the IBM's main strong point. This is the from 2015. And when we talk about this relational data, relational databases, this is here in enterprise data, and they have shown that this data quantity is not growing very fast. What is growing very fast is social media, voice data, and sensor data. This is embedded data that I was talking about from toys, remember, and machines and engines and things like that. And the red line is the important one because everything below red line is uncertain. This is not data of good quality. And if you look closely, above the red line is only enterprise data. Only your internal data is of extremely high quality. All other data is of bad quality. But we want to process it. This is the big data, and we want to integrate this data, that's data, external data of bad quality, into our decision making in the company. Which means that this unstructured external data is growing much faster than the relational data. Here we can see the exponential increase, and enterprise data or structured data of relational data is slowly growing linearly. Okay, when we are collecting all this kind of data, it's always the risk of privacy security, and costs can escalate really too fast. So it's a problem if we are starting to be greedy and now we have the technology, we want to collect it all and analyze everything. Sometimes it's not worth it. We need to find what's really important and which the part of the data is really crucial for us. So this is my favorite picture. When we are talking about big data processing, it's like when we are drinking water from this hose. If we can drink it only as much as we can swallow it, we cannot drink the whole water stream, which means that we are only capturing what is important and worth to process, and all other we are just letting to go. It's not important, it's too expensive, and we don't care. Now I have some examples of big data application. This one is Roofy tags. They are very much used in wholesale, maybe in transport. Uh, each item that is in some container in port of copper, when it's roofed, can be detected and checked. This one was actually very old. Uh, it actually roofy tags were in these smart skiing cards, and they are tracking how much you are passing, how much you are skiing, and how much of skiers they are servicing per hour. Then we can have smart grids or new electrical power infrastructure that will automatically collect and transmit the energy usage. Uh, Jakob, maybe you can tell us a little bit more if some of this is already implemented in Germany.
I know there are some problems with smart meters, so I think there are maybe big companies who are using that, but for usually for the households, it's not implemented yet. But I think it's
It's
will
going
come.
in this direction.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I know one startup from Berlin. He has a PhD in physics, and he's actually predicting how much energy will be put into the German network, electrical power infrastructure, but from the green energy, solar plants and things like that. And he's doing this with machine learning, predicting this,
Hmm.
because this is really important. So he's doing really well. One German guy, I think he's located in Berlin. Okay. Okay, this is weather forecasting, when you can forecast much better weather forecast, because every phone can have a barometer, hydrometer or some meter, and then you can capture much more weather condition than before. Social media. It's really important what your users are doing. Brazilians, that's also pretty old infographics, but it's reflection of the trend. Uh, I think that was from 2015. 1 billion search queries per day on Google. Chinese users are spending 5 hours a week in online shoppings. Chinese are the, let's say, the world champions in shopping. I was surprised with that. And Brazilians are the most connected on Facebook, while Japanese are the less connected on social media. Why is this important? You need to understand this data. If you're a global market, you need to understand how your customers are differently behaving in different markets. For instance, you should know that in Germany, shops are closing around 5 or 6 o'clock, and only several are working later on Thursdays. For instance, in Croatia, we used to have open all supermarkets all day long and Sundays, and now our supermarkets are closed on Sunday, which is devastating for everybody because we were used to have them open. And so on. You need to understand who are the top 5 social media people, what are people, which brands, which actors, which sports stars, because then you understand their behavior better. And they say for Facebook that 12 to 15 interactions on Facebook are enough that they have your psychometric prediction. Facebook is really data intensive, and they can serve you better advertisement and so on. So on social media, who is the influencer? Companies are really listening to social media, and this was one really nice research from Facebook. And my question is, can we determine personality, age, and gender from the text written in Facebook commentar? Yes. Can we predict the real life relationship between a couple, boy and a girl, or man and a woman, just from the Facebook postings? And they can show that they can predict whether you are going to have a new boyfriend or new girlfriend, or you are going to break up with somebody. Facebook has this data, and Facebook has this model. They are not announcing it. And this was one really old analysis of Facebook data published in this journal. And you can see this word cloud is male and this is female. And probably when studies like this actually enable them to really understand, even if you are not saying whether you are a male or female speaking. That was the time when Facebook data was open for analysis. So these are teenagers in high school, English, history, Spanish, homework tomorrow, but that was 10 years ago. And this other one is the language used for students, meaning your peers 19 to 23 years. Here you have the partying cluster: drunk, hangover, chill, papers, projects, exams, and so on. And this was published in February 2014. Actually, they did a research and they found that if two people have interactions in communications or liking or something, this pattern has so-called the phase shift, and here the real relationship is starting in real life. Incredible, right? And polarity, when you are single, you are much less positive in your writing when you are in a relationship. So here is everything pink and bright and nice. And this is when you break up with somebody. This is how much your friends are actually interacting with you. So here is a breakup. People hear about it, then they message you or write you something nice. But after 2 or 3 days, they are forgetting about it. But still, they are a little bit more engaged in communication with you than before when you were in a relationship. So this is what's data telling them. This is the data model. This is the data analytics done in Facebook. And Facebook is doing a really good job, and they are not publishing anymore what they are doing, because now they have models that they can really understand each and every person of Facebook. And Facebook is for free because they are collecting this data. This one is nice usage. Actually, it was also published. These two are okay. They showed that Gallup uh, Gallup consumer poll can be extrapolated with Twitter sentiment. And here is also very nice research. This is when Twitter was still Twitter and was open for data. They actually managed to map the tweets with the damage done by the one big hurricane in USA, and they managed to predict in real time how much damage was on each location done, and later they actually map this to the governmental data of the damage, and they showed that they actually can predict in real time damage done by some natural catastrophe. Why is this important? Because if some catastrophe is happening, you can also send help in real time. You will need where the most help is needed. This is also big data application. And we can see examples how this data can be used in each and every industry. Google traffic also, you won't believe it, but Google traffic was not reported in Google Maps. And here is, I learned that Google traffic report is doing really fine in Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia, when some taxi driver actually opened Google Map and looked where he is going to drive. And then I discovered, I don't remember which year it was, and he actually said, "Oh, it's a traffic jam in the city. I would like to go around. Do you agree?" Then a lot of text processing. Oh, and I love this one. This one is billboards. Actually, it was the social campaign for against domestic abuse and violence against women. And on billboard, they've been showing this picture of the woman with injuries, and they had some small camera here, and when people are looking, because it was a look at me campaign, awareness of this, and when people started to really look into this billboard was healing her face. Actually, they showed the movie how she's healing. Then this is the example in really one of the most important architectural bureaus, Zaha Hadid Architects. They are using sensors to plan how business space is used and organized, furniture, chairs, and so on. And they implemented that in their London office, because they want to use this in their further projects. And now I think it's time for break. So I will stop sharing and I will stop recording.